Yo, what up gamers? Today we are playing ranked game. I'm using a voice overlay so I can really focus on giving you guys clear tips as I play. Since this game is so fast paced, I want to make sure I don't miss any important advice while I'm typing. Let's hop into the video. I suggest you have one of these 4 skills: runaway, secret meeting, instruction, and intuition. So one of your mafias will likely to claim principal on day 1, so if you have instruction, it's easy to tell them in between. So for intuition hitman, you need to find your mafia on your first guess. If you find it, then try looking for doctor next. If you didn't, you will meet anyway, but if you do, tell your mafias you find a doctor and they won't shoot principal and doctor. And for the runaway, also secret meeting skill players, it's almost the same because you need to observe on the first day, but the difference is secret meeting try to frame others on the day 2 who didn't contribute that much. On the worst case, you can co-frame your mafia. As for the runaway hitman, after meeting you say you have runaway as soon as possible, and on the second day you need to act like a fool or to try reading the chats again to guess what they are, because it's more important to see who you need to cook than defending day 2 as runaway hitman. Also, I suggest pushing the principal who claimed last, because most of the times mafias claim principal early because of the fast chat. And for the strats, it's about being flexible. You can't use the same strategy as helper. You need to adapt to mafias, and your mafias will control the game, like whether you are winning or losing. As for the deck, it really depends on your gameplay. There's optimal deck for everyone if you want, but if you got the perfect skill for non-leading roles, then it's already fine to use them as it is. And I also want to say you want to prioritize both what you love and what is the best, because the better your morale, the better you play. Unless you feel super competitive and just care about winning, then I suggest these roles. It's mercenary, politician, judge, hacker, soldier, and gangster. I will talk about these roles on the next video, so let's skip it here. And for my top 5 recommendation would definitely have politician, psychic, and admin. Other 3 depends on your tier 4 skills, and I could also mention gangster because it's also good. And so many people asked me how to defend. As for defending, it's relatively easy, but if you have non-leading spec, then delay your lynch. Also, don't waste your politician or martyr skill on the first day, because it's more valuable on the second or the third day. So, but if we think about non-leading getting lynched, it's all about being competitive in the rank game. If you just happen to play and don't say a lot of words, then the chances of you getting lynched is super high, and you might not try to say one thing over and over again because that is lame. For example, saying get for multiple times. You think you're active or competitive, but when you're watching your replays it kind of looks wacky. And for other people's eyes, if you said get for 2 times already, they memorized it already. And as I said, it's hard to defend as non day 1, but that's only if mafias pushes you. Like almost 70% of the time that's not the case, because we're looking to lynch who aren't contributing day 1 or who are doing less better than others. And tips for counting specs with the new meta. Considering if player 1 is dead and player 2 and 3 are principals, it's safe to get from them. But if some spec is against another spec, you need to just do that one. It's definitely better because principal might have vigilante who can clear themselves. As for doc, you don't want to be a passive, or you don't want to be a guy who forgets they are doc. And remember, if one spec supports others, then like it's 2 versus 2 for you. So if player 4 supports player 6 and player 7 supports player 8, it's 2 versus 2. if they both support each other. If not, then just do 4 versus 7 because 4 and 7 are both supporting someone. Also, you need to consider they are clearing each other or co-framing. Anyway, so push for 4v7 instead of principles and always consider the deaths as spec. That's the safest option as spec. If you have leads, then don't open them instantly or they will likely to suspect you first. And in a situation you are supporting 8, there is still a doctor in 4, 5, 6, but if 4 supported 6 and you throw the 4, then 6 is likely to be the next lynch. So what I'm saying is, like, if you are not sure about winning, then you don't want to support your co-mafia, because if you support it, then more likely you would be the next lynch. And people asked, what gems should I use? Well, considering the ratio of the gems, there are 3 types of indirect clashing. I'm not saying all that stuff. I would choose lovers because only 3 spec in the game, and every game on average there is more than 3 spec gems in the lobby. I would choose lover, and it's the second highest control over the winning. First is hitman. Also, when you are using a principal gem, it has the most control, but if I use that gem, then I am always counterclaiming principal, even as mafia, and it would get bored and tired, you know. For the nameplates or frames, you can use something like rank point increasement or reduction. As for the frames, you can use something like, I will show it on the video, or just use frame, which boosts your gem chance. Also, your defense and lynching real citizen is more consistently useful than cooking. Also, secret meeting players, I really wanna say that you always meet Knight 2, because secret meeting is just a tier 0 card if you don't meet Knight 2, you know. If you are not meeting, then your mafias can suicide and you will lose the game. So my tips ended here. I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.